What's happening, financial coaches? It's Pete here, founder of Expedition Money. I want to read to you the next chapter from my book here, Be Discovered: How to Market Your Financial Coaching Business. We are now on chapter 16, and it is titled, Should You Get a Trademark? You may be wondering whether you need to trademark your name and logo. Well, let's discuss intellectual property. First, let's discuss trademarks. Essentially, a trademark is like a certificate of authenticity for your brand, protecting your name, logo, and slogans from being used by others in a way that might cause confusion. It's like having a no trespassing sign for your brand identity, ensuring you have the exclusive right to use these elements in your industry. Getting a trademark isn't as simple as waving a magic wand. It involves a bit of a process, but don't worry, I'll break it down for you. First, you must conduct a trademark search to ensure your name or logo isn't already taken. Then you'll need to file an application with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO, which includes some paperwork and a filing fee. After that, the USPTO will review your application to ensure it meets all the legal requirements. If everything looks good, your trademark will be published in the official gazette, allowing others to oppose it. If there are no objections, congratulations, your trademark will be approved and registered. One thing to keep in mind is that a trademark doesn't automatically cover both your name and logo. If you want to protect both, you must file separate applications. It's like getting two for the price of one. Sorry, there are no discounts for bulk purchases. You might wonder whether you should tackle the trademark process alone or hire a trademark attorney. While it's possible to go the DIY route, I personally opted for an attorney. They can provide valuable guidance, making sure your application is filled out correctly, and help you navigate any issues that come along the way. Plus, they'll save you time and prevent costly mistakes. Of course, trademarking your name and logo does come with some costs. Filing fees can range from $250 to $350 per class of goods, and attorney fees can be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 per trademark. You might also encounter additional fees for things like extending the time to file a statement of use, responding to office actions, and maintaining your trademark over time. You could spend between $1,700 and $4,000 or more to get your trademarks in place. So, is it worth it? Well, that depends on your specific situation. If you choose a basic name and logo now, you might be able to change them if you run into any issues down the road. This can be a good option for new small businesses like yours trying to keep costs low. However, a trademark could be a valuable asset if your brand identity is crucial to your business model and you're investing a lot in marketing and building brand recognition. At the end of the day, it's all about weighing the costs and benefits in context of your business goals. In my case, I decided to trademark both my name and logo to protect my brand. But whether you choose to do the same or take a different approach, just ensure it aligns with your overall business strategy and long-term objectives. Oh, and consult a legal professional to make an informed decision about your specific intellectual property. So, this is kind of interesting because I'm talking about it in the context of financial coaching. And in my financial wellness company, I did trademark, obviously, the name Expedition Money and then the logo because it says Expedition Money. Now, honestly, if I didn't have Expedition Money in the logo, I might not have trademarked the logo. It kind of depends on how beholden you are to it. And it depends on if someone were to challenge you with it or say that, hey, that's my logo or whatever, how hard would it be to give it up? Honestly, I don't think most people care about the logo. And in fact, sometimes you change the logo not because you have to, just because you want to, because something actually looks better. So it could be an opportunity to upgrade. Now, on the other hand, I also own some other companies. And in those cases, I have not trademarked the logo. Even though those companies make even more money, do more business, have been around longer, I have never run into an issue where someone said, hey, that's a logo I want. I'm going to surreptitiously get that logo or that name or whatever it might be. And so do you need to trademark? I mean, it's kind of up to you. And I think it really depends on your risk profile and, how confident are you that this is going to be a major business? And a lawyer can probably explain what protections that you might have through other means like copyrights and stuff like that. The reason I wanted to trademark the Expedition Money program was because I actually did come up with a slogan and a name and a little logo, and I just wanted to stick with it, especially over time. And because having that TM or that, in some cases, service mark or something like that attached to the logo gives it an air of professionalism. And I just wanted that consistency, not necessarily changing that later and being something that I would have to futz with, when I'm probably busy with other things. Now, I will say this. It was far more expensive than I thought it was going to be because I didn't get into every step of the trademarking process here, but you have to do a search. You have to kind of look at some different things. You have to kind of put together this case of what the logo is and describe it. You have to make a case for that. And then you have to do that for the name and the logo separately. So the image and even the colors and all these other things. And then once you do that, and if they have issues, they might push back on you and your attorney is going to go back and make the case of why that's not important. One case, we got some pushback about having the word money in my company name. And so they were saying like, well, that can't be trademarked. And we're making sure that it was clear that I'm not trademarking money. I'm trademarking the name Expedition Money as a single entity, as a single word. So not making any claims about the word money as well. And then later, there's something else called like a certificate. And if you don't get that, then it can be challenged. This certificate is something like kind of like a final stamp of approval, I believe, on the trademark. And so we have to apply for that and pay for that. And every time I felt like we were applying for something, there was like a $200, $300, $400, or $500 fee. And then obviously the lawyer's time, which is always like $200 to $500 an hour. So in the end, because I got 2 trademarks, I think I was somewhere in the $6,000 or $7,000 range. Now, I would actually recommend that because I just didn't want to get super involved in the trademarking process. I didn't want to have to learn it. In fact, I worked for a company prior where we had a financial wellness program, and it was up to us to get that trademark because we didn't have budget for a lawyer, which is kind of funny because then they just probably overpaid us to go through that process. And it was actually a colleague of mine who was actually doing the trademarking process. He kind of had to learn that process on his own, but I don't know what we were paying him, probably like $7,000, $8,000 a month. And I guess it probably took him a few months. So we probably paid more than we would have paid if we had just gotten a lawyer anyway, but sometimes it doesn't really matter. If you have budgets for salaries, you just want people working. So anyway, the choice is yours. But in most cases, I can't think of a financial coaching operation that probably needs to get a trademark. I just can't think of it. If you name your company Ron Glass Financial Coaching and someone else says, hey, I'm Ron Glass and I have a financial coaching company, you know what? You could change yours to Ron J. Glass Financial Coaching or something that doesn't infringe. Or maybe now you want to go to a more corporate name like Glass and Associates or Crystal Clear Financial Coaching or something like that. So, there's just probably not a lot of risk. Your risk profile is probably pretty low in terms of naming and trying to protect the intellectual assets of your financial coaching program. So I put that in there because obviously I've gone ahead and done that. On one hand, for one company, I have not done it for another company. And in both cases, I had my reasons, but I have never had a problem with either. So I guess just keep that in mind, because if I look back and I knew that it was going to be as much money to trademark, maybe it would have been worthwhile to deploy that money in other places. But like I said, it's just kind of one of those things that I knew I wanted eventually. So no reason not to spend the money now. It's a little bit like insurance. Get it when you don't need it so that when you do need it, it's already taken care of. But hopefully that helps on your journey. I'll see you later.